Okay, so I'm going to introduce our three panelists. The first one is Kathryn Gordon. She is a chef instructor here at ICE. She launched our culinary study abroad programs. Next up, Chef Shenarri Freeman. She's executive chef at Cadence. She's a twice nominated James Beard Award nominee. And last but most certainly not least, we have Chef Sohui Kim. She owns many restaurants here in New York. Also a twice nominated James Beard Award chef. I do want to ask all three of you, what is the most shocking or surprising thing about owning or running a food business?
You know, I'm going to say the ties to the economy. And it's not necessarily exactly what's happening in the economy. There can be a lag, and then how that's going to impact a business financially.
When I went to culinary school and did the internships and all the things that you sort of have to do to get your foot in the door, I thought it was all about the passion for food. It's more a business about people at a certain point than the food.
The things that no one tells you about or the things that you just can't prepare for. Something like your bow door order not coming, or your farmer running out of something that's on your special menu for the day, or your cooks calling out. All of those things that you don't really consider that happens behind the scenes of a restaurant, and then you still have to show up with a smile, and it goes back to those people relationships and act like nothing happened.
As an educator, Kathryn, I'm really curious where you see food's contribution to culture.
Sustainability is very important. Upcycling food, lack of waste of food, repurposing food, all of that kind of thing. And, I could say there are some businesses that are driven by that, and we've been able to work with a couple along the way exploring different parts, and the future is exciting, okay?
I do want to move on to another topic, which is the traditional versus the new. When you're developing business concepts and you're thinking specifically about risk assessment. Chef Sohui, I feel like you have two restaurants that are at the ends of that really represent this.
We signed on the lease a giant place in Gowanus. There was nothing there, no HVAC, no plumbing. It was just an empty garage. And there was an opportunity for us to build it from bottom up. And it's worked out. And Insa will be celebrating 10 years this December, which is great. And then Gage, it was an opportunity that was brought to me by my partners who are total history buffs and foodies. We called ourselves scrappy young restaurateurs, that wanted to take on this behemoth challenge of bringing back a 19th century oyster chop house with 125 years of history. But there's a certain amount of gut feeling.
Shenarri, can I ask you about sort of how you balance risk versus reward?
I think just going into any business, starting from scratch, you have to understand that it's going to be a risk. You don't really know what the ultimate outcome is, but I think having some type of vision, some type of blueprint, keeping that passion and having tunnel vision is going to get you the results that you want. For me, I am doing vegan food. I do vegan soul food. I do vegan West African food. To be honest, I just wanted something that wasn't really out there. Obviously, I went here, I did the Health Supportive Culinary Arts program. So I took all of that information and created a menu that was reflecting that, but also my upbringing, which is eating Southern food and soul food, and kind of infuse that into a menu.
What are the top one or two skills that somebody has to have?
I think it's attitude. Because the rest, like you said, can be taught.
Well, on that note, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you all.
So I would like to know, what is the key factor or differences that distinguish between restaurants that do make it and doesn't make it?
I'm just going to say the word culture, honestly. It's about that retention. It's about that vision.
How do you, adapt to change?
This might sound crazy, but trying to stay ahead of the curve. But I think also being consistent. Cooking with the seasons, cooking seasonally, locally. I think all of these things will help contribute to it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.